Let's run the first verse. 1.
The Holdovers is a 2023 dramedy centered around a curmudgeon of a history professor who is left to babysit a troublemaking prep student, Angus Tully, accompanied by the school's head cook and grieving mother, Mary Lamb, which, by the way, Davine Joy Randolph won an Academy Award for this role, which she absolutely deserved. In fact, this movie was snubbed, and I will die on that hill. Anyway, these three, with only themselves, their emotions, and the echoing halls of Barton Academy, attempt to navigate the holidays, trying to make the most of their unfortunate situation. The first location is VFW Post 8503 on Water Street. In the film, it portrays the tree lot that Hunnam visits on Christmas morning to pick up a last-minute tree. Not a whole lot happens here. After all, it's only on screen for 12 seconds. Yes, I counted. But that's okay, because it's right next door to our next stop. The winning ticket in real life seems to be a liquor store, or an abandoned one at that. The interiors seen here were filmed over at the Pleasant Cafe in Roslindale. If you want to hear more about that, you can watch this local news report, which I linked in the description.
Why'd you buy those guys beers? They're assholes.
That's one way to look at it. Hey, catch. How many boys do you know have had their hands blown off? Barton boys don't go to Vietnam. Oh, they go to Yale or Dartmouth or Cornell, whether they deserve to or not.
Except for Curtis Lamb.
Except for Curtis Lamb.
Fun little fact. For the movie, they had to put a step here because the step down is actually massive, and I cannot see Paul Giamatti or Dominic Sessa cleanly making this step without interrupting the shot. Going around the corner, we see not only where Hunnam's car was parked, but also the iron bridge that the trio cross on the way to the party. Shelburne Falls, where the previous locations were filmed, is a quaint little town east of the Berkshires with tons of history to sink your teeth into. It's also home to the locations of the breathtaking opening shots of the film, however, we couldn't seem to access them. Unfortunately, the potholes, as they're locally known, were being worked on, so the water was being diverted and there wasn't exactly a sight to behold other than this awesome crane. The town still is a beautiful sight in the winter though, and is worth the trip alone. Moving further east over to Gill? More specifically, Northfield Mount Herman School. This is one of the schools that makes up the campus of Barton Academy. The first location here is the chapel the students attend in the beginning of the film. While both the interiors and exteriors were filmed here on campus, the stained glass window and World War inscription were filmed over in Groton. Now, accurate to the film, just at the bottom of the sidewalk is where they filmed the exchange between the boys as the Christmas tree is removed from the church. Nice to see that they kept the accuracy.
Hey, what are you doing with our Christmas tree?
School sold it back to us. Scotch pine, still fresh.
And then right across the street is what's really the admissions office, but in the movie it isn't given a proper name, however it's featured in the opening credits. Heading just across the street from the church is the campus's West Hall, which is featured briefly at the beginning of the film during the opening credits as well. The interiors were also filmed elsewhere, in this case at St. Mark's School in Southborough. Next up, and finally on our tour, is the historic Deerfield Academy campus, part of Deerfield Historic District. The main hall here is our first stop. And let me tell you, this place looks so different in person. The way the camera is positioned, it looks so much more open, but if we take a step back, there are so many trees. We actually see this spot from a couple different angles throughout the film, such as when Angus is waiting on his parents to show up, when Angus's parents do actually finally show up. I didn't film this part, I'm sorry guys. And when Hunnam departs campus for a final time. Also, I'd like to note that surrounding this building is a neighborhood of sorts, be it dorms or preserved houses. I believe the shot of the trio leaving for Boston was filmed here, but I didn't bother searching. And lastly, and most fittingly, the final shots of the film filmed right along Massachusetts Route 10. Thank you all so much for watching my coverage of the Holdovers filming locations throughout Central Mass. If you happen to be making this trek for yourself, I also recommend making a stop at Yankee Candle Village. It's roughly a 10-minute drive away from Deerfield Academy and is the perfect day activity for the whole family, especially around the holidays. If you are, of course, exploring these locations for yourself, please do so safely and smartly. Don't disrupt the academic goings-ons of the schools, and be cautious if you're trying to recreate shots around the Shelburne Falls potholes. Thank you all once again so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed and have a very Merry Christmas.